Hello, and welcome back to the final part in the series, part 9 of making a lore-friendly car for San Andreas from scratch. I'm TheMadeMan, and today we'll be adding dummies, collisions, and I'll be going over how to get it working in game. So, before we start, make sure to like, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content. Support me via Patreon and all this stuff. So let's begin. And as you can see here, in the last episode, we're left with the damaged parts of our car, as you can see. But they're just in pieces, they're not linked together on anything. And today, that's what we're gonna do. And so, first thing we do, of course, is we gotta save it to a separate file. Alright. Here we go. And before we proceed any further, make sure to just remove unused slots on the materials menu for each object to reduce the file size, so that it's not like too big, not bigger than it should be. So for my own car, I have done this off camera. I've deleted all the unused materials, and so let's just begin now. Okay. All right, let's just hide everything. Okay, hide everything. Let's start with something easy. Okay. Now, on many of the default cars in San Andreas, you have you not only have dummies for each separate parts, like the hood and the trunk, but within those dummies, you also have sub dummies where you can assign tuning parts that work in France vendor and other shops, depending on what you're making and the assigned parts. But today I won't be going into much detail on those parts. I think they deserve a separate episode, but I will be showing a basic example of what I'm putting on my car. Anyways, let's get started with something simple. And we'll do let's see what's easiest. Let's do bumpers. Okay, bumpers don't have any. Well, on my car, I won't be adding the bumper lights, although they exist in game. But they are kind of hard to implement because there are two lights on the parts, right? And they are locked into place. You don't move them around. It's like they come together in one piece, and they are always the same distance apart. And I think my car, again, San Andreas cars are too huge, and so are the tuning parts. And the tuning parts are so spread apart that they're probably floating right here, and that's not where we want. I want them like this and this, but they don't have parts for that. So I'm not going to be adding the lights, fog lights, I think it's called in game. So I'm just going to be doing just the basic bumper. Anyways, first thing here is we go to the sacrificial car, as I will call it, which is the Primo that I've been using for a while. We go into the hierarchy, into the chassis dummy. Sometimes it's under the chassis object, but not in this car. And here we can see all the main object dummies. Not this one. This one we'll go to later. But these ones are the one that has models, that have models in them. And here's the front bumper. So let's just select the dummy in the menu. Go to the object properties, to relations, and to this parent box, which is click X, because we don't need it to be parents to be like Primo just yet. So we click the X, drag it out to the scene collection, and here we have this little floating box. And also we should just delete these old bumpers from the Primo. We don't need it, of course. And so we hide it away, delete it away. And here we have this little box here. Okay, that's the dummy. And now we're gonna show the front bumper. From the last episode, if you remember, in San Andreas, the bumpers can actually shake, and it depends on the location of the dummy that we put. And since it always it's like going it's not most of the San Andreas cars. They rotate. They don't go like this. No, but they're more like, let's say, if you rotate like this, the pivot is over here. But in San Andreas, it's always on one side. And so on my car, I assign it to be this left side, the driver's side. So I keep this side intact, and this side is hanging off like this. And so that means that the dummy has to go this side. And so it should go somewhere like this, like this end. Or some cars, it's like in the middle, like right here. I'm gonna do it here for my car because it's easy to locate it. Pause. Before we go any further, please make sure to follow these steps carefully. Not doing so can cause many headaches with these parts floating or just not opening properly. You have been warned. To put the object under the dummy, you select the object and then go to edit mode and then select the vertex right here for the bumper and then shift and S. You can see the no-bot overlay. It should work. Yeah, it should work. Shift S and then you go to cursor to select it, and so it will move this circle thing, which is the 3D cursor, to what we are selected, which is this vertex right here. Vertex, I don't know. It moves to here. We exit the edit mode, and then we right click the bumper, go to set origin to 3D cursor, and now as you can see, this location XYZ have like coordinates instead of 0, 0, 0. Don't do anything, just leave it like this, and then we select the dummy, shift S again, but this time we go to selection to cursor, and so it will move the dummy to the 3D cursor. And now that it's moved to the correct position, we click here, click the bumper, go down to the relations menu on the right side in the object data properties, click this color dropper, whatever it is, and then hover the mouse over the dummy that it says bump front dummy. Don't click when it's something else. Click it when it says bump underscore front underscore dummy. You click it and you see this bumper moving right here, but don't worry, we just go here and then change the coordinates to 0, 0, 0, and it will return into the correct place. And so that particular procedure that I just showed there has to be followed in order, because if you don't follow it in order and you let's say do one thing before the other, then the bumper will just float like probably like over here or something, or it will just not work properly. Just follow the instructions right there and you should be fine. And anyways, as you can see now, we have this little hierarchy of front bumper, and the front bumper is under the dummy now, and that's the non-damaged part. We can do the same, and then now we can do the same thing to the damaged part. And so we select it, set this origin to 3D cursor, set the parent to the dummy, change the coordinates, and there we go. Now we have the front bumper dummy being finished. Alright, so now we can just move to the rear bumper, which is the same thing basically. Let's just delete the primo bumpers beforehand, and then we delete the relations, move it out here. Same process, just the rear bumper. And as you can see, the damaged version, this side should be the base because it's hanging here. So we just show the normal version. Go back to this view. I don't want that render. Go here. Go to this corner, select the vertex, and right click. No, not right click. Shift S, cursor to select it, and send this origin to here. Same with this one. Just move it to selection to cursor, and then link the parent. Change the coordinates. There we go. And same is done to the rear bumper, basically. If you accidentally change the 3D cursor to somewhere else, like you shift right click, then you just select the dummy and just shift S and then cursor to selected. And there we go. It should return to the correct spot, and you can continue your work because I just did that. I didn't do that on purpose. I actually did accidentally move the cursor, but anyways. Yep. And then set origin 3D cursor, link parent, change coords. There we go. We have 2 parts done. Let's what do we do next? Let's do the what do we have? Windscreen. Okay, windscreen is the simplest one, the easiest one. Let's delete the old ones. Unlink. Oh, wait, where did it go? Unlink. Move it out. Hide the primo. And then we show the windscreen. Since the windscreen both have the same model, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't move at all. We just select any of them. We just select the normal one. And then we select 2 vertices. The one at the top, in the middle, and the one at the bottom. Like this, 2 vertices. And then we move the cursor to them. And it will be in the middle of the object. The object, basically, if you do that. And that's usually where the dummy is for the windscreens. They're just in the middle. And so, have that. And then we can just change origin again and just... Okay, we have to move that as well. You gotta move that to the correct location. Shift selection to cursor. And then this one. Nope. And then we link the parent. A little hard to see. Right, there we go. Link the parent. Change coords. There we go. Same is done to the damaged parts. We just there's origin, 3D cursor, and then we link the parent. 0, 0. There we go. We have the windscreen done. Let's do the... Well, we have this little glass material. Now that we add it, I'm gonna be assigning the light materials for the lights because we haven't done that yet. If you don't do, as you can see here, it looks like this, but in game it would just be like this and not work in game if you don't add the correct materials for the lights. And so we gotta add new materials. Let's start with the front lights. I kind of forgot about this stuff. Let's just copy material. Paste paste material. Left front light. So we have this material. We just assign it to... No, we have the new materials, right? And since this one is supposed to be transparent, we use the material that's... I think in the earlier episodes I made this already like transparent. Maybe not. No, I didn't. Okay. To make this one transparent, because we have the inner sides, they are 3D. Because front lights in San Andreas are mostly 3D. Most of the cars have this. We have this one, and then we can just assign the material. That's left front light. Assign it. And then we go down to this drag NFF export material. Click on this little ball. And select left headlight so that it has the correct shading color so that it works in game. And then we click here. For the alpha is basically the opacity of this. The closer you get to 0, the more transparent it is. And I think from one car that I work in Blender, I think around 0.85 or something. Or 80, I don't know. Somewhere like 0.85 is the correct material. 0.80, I think. It depends on what car you're making. You gotta test this around a few times, and you'll get which one is better. But anyways, we have the materials done for the left side. We gotta do the same for the right side this time. We copy the material, create new one, paste it, name it right front light. Doesn't matter if it has 0, 1 because it's the duplicate from the Primo. It doesn't matter. We go down. We also apply it. I forgot. Gotta apply it first. So check if it's correct. Yes. Okay. Okay. Select the right front light. Go down. Click the ball. Right headlight, and then change the opacity to 0.8 for mine. And there we go. It's not visible in Blender, but in game it should be transparent. And so now we have the rear lights. And so we have let's do the chassis first. And so for my car, the rear lights are actually not 3D, they're 2D, so we don't have to add the opacity thing. We just need to change the color. And so first of all, we select okay. Well, we were back. The Blender crashed. Don't know why, but at least I saved it right before it crashed. So that's why I always say, if you've done something, just press Ctrl S to save it. Like, do it often, so that you don't lose your progress. Anyways, we're back here. We select these, so to know what material it is. It's apparently it's a door material. We just copied it, copy it, create a new material. Don't crash, please. Paste it, and then left rear light. I think it's called that. Let me check. Yeah, left rear light. We go back. Select these, only one side, of course. Left rear light. Assign it. Go down here. Change the material shading color to left tail light. No need to add the opacity thing because it's 2D. And we do the same for the right side. So we go here. No, we create material this time. Create new. Paste it. Right rear light. There we go. And then we select the mesh. Assign material. Let's just check, double check. Okay. Wait, why is it white? Okay, right rear light. Select, assign, go down, change the color. No. Well, okay, well, what happened? Oh, it moved. Okay. Right tail light. There you go. Left and right and all that. Save it. And I think for my car, we also have them on the trunk. So I'll do the same thing to the trunk. But no need to create new materials because we already have it. We just, add it to this list. Add the slot. I don't know why, but the left side doesn't have numbers, but the right one does. It's just weird. I don't know. It's fine. Select it. Select it. Go here. Light. Left rear light, no number. Assign it. So select and see. Yeah, it doesn't change anything. Okay. And then we do the same for the right side. Just select it. Only one because it's the right side. New slot. Light again. And I think the chassis uses number. Okay. 0.01. Right rear light 001. Okay. Assign it. And so select. Nope. Okay, good. Select. Good. Okay. That's done for the normal one, the working one. And we also have these. Although if you say the lights are on the bumper and someone crashes into the back, I don't think they would work. So I'm not gonna apply the material here. It shouldn't work at all. Of course, it should be breaking. And so we won't add the light material to that one. It should stay like that, not working. So anyways, from that short frustrating detour aside, we are back to the dummies. And so the glass object is, the one that I separate for my own cars, of course, only. Don't know about other models, but for mine, I did it because it has some transparency problems with the car, especially the rear window, so I just separate it. And so anyways, it should be, the parent should be, we go back, the chassis. So just link it right now so we don't forget about it. And yeah, here we go. Parent is the chassis. Okay. Anyways, next up we have the doors. Okay, doors are easy. We just, first of all, we go delete every single one of the objects from the Primo. No, not that. Delete the objects. Add link. And then we move it out because we move it to doors. No, not that. This one. We have all the dummies. And now we're gonna be selecting the doors, doing the doors one by one. And for the doors, you see in game, the hinge is the dummy location. Say this one is the most forward one of the door. We just select the vertex, just one of them, right here, and just move the cursor to that. And just the rest of the process is the same as I'll just repeat again for one door. Move cursor, move the dummy, set origin, set parent, change coordinates, and so on and so forth. For all 4 doors, it's the same process. There we go. We have the doors done. Let's do the exhaust. Okay, select it, delete the previous link, and then new parent should be chassis. There we go. Don't change the location coordinates because they are in the right spot. The exhaust is are done. Let's go to the a little bit of a harder part. Let's start with this bonnet. Okay, for the bonnet, we will be adding, for my car at least, I will be adding the hood scoop in game. I think it's called hood scoops. I think the bonnet has 2 groups for mods, tuning parts. You have the hood scoops and the hood vents. The hood vents are they are separate 2 dummies left and right side. But again, as I said, just like the front fog lights, they're not designed for this car because this is more smaller than the normal default San Andreas cars. The San Andreas cars are huge, and so are the mods, and so they won't fit on this at all. Even the hood scoop is huge, it's this big, even though it should be like this, right? It's this long. So we only be adding just the hood scoop. And so we go to the bonnet dummy. What we have here is, this is for the hood scoops. We don't need them. We only need, just rename them to UG underscore bonnet. No, underscore damn. Then we just delete the objects and link it. Okay. And then we just, for the bonnet. Okay, where is it? Okay. For the bonnet, we move the dummy to, let's see. Essentially, the pivot should be over here because it opens like that. Unless you have I don't know what it's called, but some cars, some luxury car, they open this way. That this is the hinge. But anyway, put the dummy where the hinge is, and so it should be between these 2 vertices, left and right side, because it's the deepest into the car. But we want it to be in the center. So we select both, move the cursor, selection to cursor, set origin, set parent. We can also, if we can't find it in the 3D view, we can also click here in the object selection right here. And then we do the same with the coordinates. There we go. Same for the damaged one, which is set origin, pick parent, change coords, and so on. And so now we have the hood dummy in the right position, but we will still have to add the hood scoop dummy into the correct location. And so to line it up properly, you just go into, I think, let's just extract a part of the tuning part. So we open the GTAF IMG right here. I think the bonnet, I think tuning parts are at the top, as you can see here. But yeah, we go down. I think the bonnet is around, yeah, bonnet. That's the hood vent. That's not the hood. Yeah, here. Something like, I think this. Yeah, bonnet's right, but I left this hood vent. This is the hood scoop. Anyways, we select these four, extract it to like a folder. In my case, I set up a tuning folder. And then we import them with the DFF menu. We go, let's say, yeah, I didn't pin this. All right, there we go. It should be in the folder. And so we just, let me just try to import this one. I don't know what this one is about. So the P version, as you can see, is like curvy, but the non-P version would be like this. I guess it's not curvy. That's something new that I learned today. Remove it from the hierarchy, delete the DFF, and then we just move this thing to where we want. Nope. Chassis. We show the chassis. Chassis, and I think it should be around here. You see here, it's still huge. Like they're designed for San Andreas size cars. That's why it's kind of, you know. Anyways, we go here. We rotate, so it's properly lined. Oh yeah, it's actually pretty. Yeah, the curvy one works. So we'll use this one. Anyways, we maybe a little deeper. I don't know. Just try it in game. We can move it later, but I think this is the correct. Also, we just to make it look like, to see the texture, of course, we gotta go to find missing files and materials folder and click on this, and then it should show like this. And I think that's where we want it. And so, as you can see here, this is where we want our bonnet, right? This is a non-damaged one, and so we move it here in object mode, not edit. Just move the object so that this moves with it. And then we need to unlink these from the bonnet. Oh. And then we just reset the stuff for now. Let's reset the coords and rotations. Okay. Let's do the normal one first. We have the bonnet dummy here. So, first of all, select the hood scoop that we moved and rotated. Move the cursor. Go to bonnet. And then select the bonnet and then selection to cursor. Now it should be here. Yep. And then change the rotation to match this one. Just copy paste, I guess. Copy paste from this one. There we go. And now it should have the correct rotation and also the correct location. Yes. Okay. And now that we're done, let's delete these, so we don't need it now. We also hide this. And then we set the parent to bonnet. The bonnet dam, that's the damaged version. Okay, so to line it up, we gotta, of course, show the damaged version. And then this one, let's just duplicate this object. So let's name it damn. I don't know. Let's make a new collection. Tuning. Just hide it in there. Hide the normal one, the damage one. We just move and rotate this thing up so that it lines up with what the car is like. Now that we have the rotation and location correct, we do the same process. Just hide the damaged version. We don't need it now. We select the damaged and we just apply the. No, first of all, move the cursor to select it. Hide it now. Go to the dummy. We just apply rotation. We have the correct rotation, and so now we have the correct location. Link the parent to the dummy, and then move it to selection to cursor. There we go. That should be in the right position, right process. Okay, that should be done for the hood, both the model and the bonnet dummy, the hood scoop dummy. And so now we are done with that. We can go to the trunk, the final, no, not the final, the one of the last moving parts of the car. And again, the trunk usually has a spoiler, and the spoilers works in the same way as the hood scoop. And so we delete the link. Delete the link, move it out. Okay, and also delete the models. We don't need them. So we have the dummy, and now we have the object, and the object works the same way as the hood. You select the vertices, move the cursor, and then move the dummy. And then set origin, parent, location, boards, so on. Same thing with the damaged one. Then link 0, 0, 0. There we go. And now we're gonna be lining up the spoiler. Okay, where's the spoiler that? Okay, move it here. Move it here. Okay. Let's just reset everything. And also remove the parents, just to be sure. We can link it later. Rotation, reset them. Okay, we have both now. And again, as I said about the size of the car, we should just get the smaller spoiler. And so we just essentially you know, extract it from the same GTA3.img file as before. Let's just chop and let's just import all of them so we can see the different sizes. I didn't export every single one, but I'm just gonna show a few of them. But also, before you export stuff, if you want to make a normal car for transfender, then pick the parts that have _B _ something, spoiler _B _ blah blah blah. The B stands for the B shop, which is the transfender in game. So import 5 of them, I guess, and we will go shopping with this thing. Let's see that one. Okay. Let's just move the stuff. Okay, move it here so that we can compare to the size of the car. Let's see. Chassis. This one is too big. What is this one? Delete the whole thing. This one also too big. Okay, so they're basically different materials, I think. Just show it. Find missing files. Zeros. Okay, as you can see. So one, I think it's a black plastic. The other is paint. Yeah. It's okay. Well, let's just use the small one as a reference because we know that it works. Yeah, that's a small one. Delete this one. Delete this one. Small one, which is no, not delete that. Wait. Delete it. Okay. Let's move it to tuning. Okay. And so we again move this spoiler to correct location. Guys, how do spoilers work? Are they supposed to be like this or this? I don't know. You guys, if you guys know how the spoilers should be installed, please tell me in the comments. I'm not a card guy, okay? Anyways, let's just put it here. No, it should be like here, right? And we move it here. And then rotation. That should do, I think. And by the way, when we line up stuff, just remember the tuning parts name so that we can like add the options into the game for the correct parts. So we can try different parts out, and you can try and game and change the data lines later and see which one fit, which ones don't. But anyways, we have this now lined up. And so again, same procedure. Now that we line it up, move the cursor and then get the rotations. Go here. Okay. Copy the rotation values. Okay, we have the rotation correct. And so we link it, first of all, link it with the boot dummy. And then selection to cursor so that we have the correct location. And there we go. We have the spoiler. Normal spoiler is done. So we're going to be adding the dummy for the damaged one. So we duplicate object, name it damaged. Okay, we have the correct location and rotation. We transfer the rotation values, first of all, to this damaged dummy. Alright, we have the correct rotation. We just need to now link dummy, cursor to selected. That's the correct one. Damaged one. Damn. Alright, there I get. Okay, now it should be done for real. And now we have all the moving parts except the wheels lined up. Now we're going to be adding some extra tuning dummies, mainly the roof scoop and the wings. Those are pretty simple because they don't have damaged parts. They only have one part. So first of all, we just import the tuning parts that we again extract from the GTA 3 IMG. The roof scoop should be RF_BR_SC something. And we just move it here, delete the collection. Anyways, yep, there it is. Let's add the texture. There we go. And now we can move the thing up here and rotate it and stuff. I think that's good. Yeah. Okay, we have the rotation and location down. Again, same procedure, but since we don't have a dummy, we just copy from another one. Let's copy from Windscreen. We have this one, just Shift and D. Rename it to UG_roof. I think that's, yeah, I think UG_roof is the correct one for this one, for the roof scoop. So how we reset the stuff to 0 and get the rotations. And then again, we move this one. No, first of all, we're gonna link it to chassis. it should be under chassis. And then we move it to, no, move the cursor first. Cursor to selected, and then group dummy, selection to cursor. And there we go. It should be there now. And now we can hide this stuff. And so the last tuning part I will add to my car are the side skirts and the slash wings. And so you just need to line up one side and it should work for both. And so let's just import the left side, okay? Let's delete that. Put it in the collection. Now we move it to where we need it. Of course, we gotta get the texture again. Always going missing. I don't know how I can fix this, but that's the quick way to have a texture folder without copying it every time. And then we move it. I think it's something like this. I don't know about card, guys. Please help. Is this the correct way to add a side skirt? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's the correct location. Rotation doesn't have to be changed, so only location is needed. So selected, cursor to selected, go to, we don't have the dummies yet. Okay, we need the dummies. Does the Primo have one? Let's see. No, the Primo does not have one. So we need to create new ones, and that's not that hard. Let's do the windscreen dummy again because it doesn't have rotation. And then UG_wing_ left. And so we have the new dummy. We move it to selection to cursor. I keep forgetting. We have the left side done. To line up the right side, it's actually pretty simple. We don't need to import the model. We just duplicate again. _right instead of left. And then the X location. Is it X location? Yes, X location. Take the right one, go to X location, X chord. Just remove only the minus symbol. Press enter. There we go. It should be correct here. Same location, different sides. And now we can just link parent to chassis. There we go. And the real final tuning part, I just realized, is the nitro. Okay, we have the nitro. As you can see here, let's just unlink. Usually nitro, move it out. The nitro is pretty simple. It's like you just put it behind this rear seat here. Just make sure that the dummy is around like halfway sunk into the headliner. Not headliner. Whatever this is, make sure it's sunk halfway under this. And it shouldn't float. Just make sure it's make sure it's a little far from the glass window, because this X5 Nitro is huge. They're like a huge bulk, huge barrel. It will stick out, but this should be correct, right enough. And so now that's done, link it to the chassis. There we go. For real this time, this is the chassis. And now the rest of the thing that we need to do also is link all of the dummies to the chassis. Let's do it real quick. We select them, link the parent to chassis. There we go. It's all under this now. All good. Oh, we have the windscreen as well. Forgot the windscreen. There we go. We have the chassis hierarchy done. Let's move out of the chassis to, let's delete that one we don't need now. We have the chassis underscore velo, which is essentially, this is the low quality version that you see in distance, and it's up to you to, change it to whatever you need. But I think for my car, I just need to rescale it to the correct proportions. It doesn't have to be accurate, of course. Just line up in the general area and it should be fine. Alright, it's lined up. And now we're back to the Primo.DFF hierarchy. We just need to rename this stuff to your car. As for my case, it's Aster OB. Let's just rename this one. The collisions, as in it's a preparation for our process of making it. Name it Primo. Right here. But for the rest of this collision thing, there's no need to actually rename it. It should rename automatically. So there we go. Chassis Velo and Chassis Dummy is up one step in the hierarchy. And so what we need to do here is, let me just hide the stuff. That's not my view, that's the Primo. Anyways, we show every object, including the damaged parts. Show all of them that be hidden. Alright, all objects, and then select from the windscreen underscore OK up to chassis, so that the whole hierarchy of the chassis is selected. Press M, go to yourcar.dff, and then this one, .dff. And now it should be moved into here. And then select the chassis only the chassis. Click the parent menu, assign it to chassis dummy. There we go. Now it should be moved to the correct location, and so that we can hide all the damaged parts, so we don't have to see the ugly ones, the ugly, scratches and all that stuff. Only need to see the nice non-damaged parts. And there we go. Now it should be correct. Okay. Alright, next thing, we jump out of the chassis dummy to the Astro dummy itself. We move each object. Here, first of all, we have the engine, which is it's pretty much what it is. We just move it. No need to do anything, just move the object to the correct location. Somewhere above the engine, like this should work. And then the exhaust, again, just move it to where the exhaust ends, where the fumes come out, like this. Like this. That should be good. The headlights, again, only need to do one side, so in the middle of one, like this, and also move it down around here, like it pokes out a little bit, but also inside a little bit. Yeah, here should work. You only need to do this on one side. And then this one, the pedal arm, is essentially, sometimes if you drive in game, you see some pedestrians, they drive it, and they have their arms, left arm sticking out in the window, just resting their arm on the door. We just need to line up like something like this. This is the seat. It's, I think, around here somewhere. Move it in. They're not very consistent anyways. In game, you have a lot of default cars where the arm go inside the model. It doesn't really matter. It's just something extra that pets do that don't really line up. It's fine. This should do. Maybe back a little bit. There we go. Let's skip the seats for now. We touch on that later. The petrol cap is basically where you shoot and the car will blow up. It's where you put in the gas, basically. And, right, something like this should do. There we go. Just mid halfway in, halfway out. Like this should do. Tail lights, again. Now, in many default cars, no, not many, some default cars, you have tail lights 1 and tail lights 2 if you have like a long one. In this case, though, I will only add the taillights dummy. The dummy is where the, there's a light effect. Not to be confused with the texture, where they only light up right now as we set up the color shading thing. But this is where it's like an effect particle. And you can have 2 dummies for both the front and rear. But for taillights, I'll only add the 1, because if I add 2 here, and when you brake, they will have a particle. But when you crash and the hood like gets lost, it flies out of the car, and you have the dummy, then it will just still light up even though there's no lights. So I will only add 1 to my car, which is the corner for this one, since the corner won't be removed ever. Something like this should do. Yeah. And then the wheels, it's pretty simple for the wheels. We just show all wheels that we move to the correct locations, and then we just go to edit mode for each wheel, select top and bottom edges, no, not first, edges, edge mode, you know, number 2, and then select both, and then move the cursor, and then we move the dummy to the cursor. So this one is the front left, so left front. Cursor, no, not that. Cursor to selected. Selection to cursor. There we go. We can do the same for the rest of the wheels, but leave the right front one for now. Just do the rest first. We need to deal with this. Cursor to selected. Left back. And then, yep, left back. Selection to cursor. Same with the right back one. Cursor to selected. Right back. Selection to cursor. And now we have the main component. The wheel model is under the right front one, so we just delete the old one. We don't need it. Which one? This one. It's called wheel. Okay, forgot. Just rename this to whatever. This is not the right one. This is the correct one. Wheel.01. We rename it to wheel lowercase. Only this should work. This, and then we do the same dummy location thing first. Cursor to selected, and then selection to cursor, and then here we select the view, set origin, right, like this, and parent to view, and move it in, like this. No, why is it not moving? And then set coordinates to 0, and we should have the views on the correct locations. And now, finally, for the dummies, we have the pet locations. I mean, the dummies for the location that the models, the characters will sit. We have the front and back. The front one, as you can see, is for the front seat, but they line it up on the passenger side, even though the if you remember the thing, the blueprint thing, we have the CJ Loves Driving thing that we lined up back a few episodes ago, and that I mirrored it to the, not mirrored, I mean moved to the right side of the, not the right, passenger side of the car. And so we have here the correct location and dummy, so that's good. Just line it up first so that it lines up with the steering wheel and all the stuff. I think a few episodes back, go back and watch it, line it up, and then we have this, the correct coordinates. We just move the cursor to the CJ Loves Driving model, select the front seat, move it there, selection to cursor, there we go. We also need the rear seat, so we duplicate the thing, rear, not rear, seat. What's that rear thing? I don't know. Move it back. Now keep in mind though, in default San Andreas, the pets actually sit a little bit back from the dummy. Let's say you set the dummies like this. They actually sit like here. For whatever reason, just keep that in mind when you line this up. So yeah, I'm gonna line it up like this. Should work. Something like this. Just make sure that the feet don't come out and all that stuff. I think I already went over this in the episode where I made line up the dummies. But anyways, we move it back. Don't worry about the head poking out. It's on the wrong side. If you move it back here, it shouldn't show. But it's in the right location. So we select it. Move the cursor. No, the cursor to it, and select the back seat dummy, move it to the cursor. And this is all the basic dummies done. Take a few minutes break and just enjoy the car for now, because we are going to be at the final stage in Blender, which is the collision zone.